Hi, friends. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Katie, and welcome to Okay, but Did You Know? A podcast where we talk about the TV and media that we love with a friend who's never seen it before.
Today, we're recapping and chatting about Once Upon a Time, episode 416, Best Laid Plans. This episode aired on March 29th, 2015. It was written by Kalinda Vasquez and Jane Espenson, and was directed by Ron Underwood. Now, before we get into our recapping and chatting, let's go over a synopsis for Best Laid Plans. In the Enchanted Forest. After a unicorn gives Snow and Charming conflicting images of their child's future, a peddler points them in the direction of a man who might be able to help. The apprentice explains that he could remove their child's potential for darkness if they had another vessel that could take it on. They venture to Maleficent's lair, intent on using the egg she'd just lain as their vessel, believing it to already be a monster, so what would be the harm in adding more darkness? When the apprentice enacts the spell, he opens a portal to send the egg and its darkness to another land where it can't hurt anyone, along with Cruella and Ursula, who try to get it back, just as it hatches. Snow and Charming's child is now pure of intent and heroic of spirit, and it will now be their job to guide that child and keep it in the light. And in Storybrooke, the hunt for the door continues. Regina tries to fool the villains with a picture of the page, but they see right through it, and demands she get the real page back from Henry. Mal puts the town under a sleeping curse, so it will be easier to retrieve the page, and demands that in exchange for her help, Gold will tell her what happened to her child. While hiding in the sorcerer's mansion, Henry finds a key that he believes can set the author free. He gives Regina and the others the fake page, and entrusts the real one to Snow and Charming, who have finally come to a head about the lying that they've done. They're about to destroy the page when they decide to come clean and face the consequences. Emma's trust in them is shattered, and when she goes to visit August, he explains that the author isn't a person, but a job, and this author did something he wasn't supposed to do. He changed the story rather than record it. Emma has questions only the author can answer, and she uses the key to set him free, revealing him to be the peddler who set Snow and Charming on their path all those years ago. And Maleficent finally gets her answer. Her child is alive, and in this world, adopted 30 years ago, and now her name is Lily.
You know how I felt at that point, but we're going to start from the beginning, as you should.
Yes, as we should.
As we should.
As we should.
The two very different looks into Emma's future had me laughing, because
yeah,
it just did. I don't...
It worked, but it works though because I was like, wait, is there a plot hole here? I wasn't sure. Mainly because, Charming is so when we see in the first couple seasons, he's so sure that their child is going to be a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he says that in the pilot, and then in Lady of the Lake, when they do like the pendant thing, he can't remember which one it is, so he just thinks it's a boy. So it works out that he sees a baby.
Yeah.
Because and then Snow very intentionally doesn't say she, despite the fact that she sees a girl. She sees she sees Emma. So it's interesting, and she already knew it was going to be a girl anyway because she understood what the different positions of the thing meant. But it works to their favor, though, that he sees a baby. Therefore, he still has no idea what gender his child is.
Like, that's charming, though. It's David. It's just who he is. I had this moment of so they carried August to the nuns?
Apparently.
They had to, I'm sure, magic can be involved, I'm sure, but they did. They had to carry him to the nuns.
Well, between Emma and Killian and David, they got enough strong-willed people.
I did have the moment of please don't get the pages mixed up, but obviously, they went a different route with that. Yeah. And then the line, we were told that we had to guide her, that her fate rested with us. And I'm going to die on this hill. Y'all abandoned her as a newborn. How do you guide someone you abandon?
That's an excellent point. And I don't know.
You can't.
No.
And also then them whispering in a very quiet room directly next to everyone. I'm like, how did no one hear this?
And
this is bullshit.
Come on. Snow just walks out of the room.
They're hugging. The room is quiet. She's still hugging Killian. Henry's right there. And they're just whispering back and forth. And I'm just like, everyone can hear you. This is a stage whisper. Come on, guys.
I like to whisper too.
Right? I'm just like, come on. Y'all can do better. At least get them outside to talk so no one can hear them.
We have a hallway set. I know it's an open floor plan loft, but we have a hallway outside of the actual apartment.
Yeah. Just be like, Snow needs a moment. We're going to go talk first. Just it's okay to be it's marriage stuff. You're adults. Why would I be jealous? Though I do know you're partial to men in leather jackets. I'm like, me too.
I liked
Me too,
Killian being
Emma.
jealous. It was cute.
It was cute. Like, it wasn't out of character, I felt, either, because he hasn't exactly had the best luck with love, so jealousy does make sense.
And I'll admit, I think August still makes sense as the most healthy love interest out of all of the ones that she has.
He does, like, because he was I don't blame August, like, as a when he was little, abandoning, so to speak, Emma
Yeah.
as a baby, because he was just a child.
Mhm.
He was a child in a whole new world, his dad's gone. Like, I have never actually been, I think, that mad at August for, like, anything he's really done through the
No.
storyline. He has had a reason for everything, like, throughout the entire story arc.
He absolutely has, and I'll add on this. My saying August is the best love interest that Emma could possibly have. There's also merit, obviously, in friendships. Emma's whole thing of, like, she had the one friend when she was a teenager, and August is the only friend she's really been able to make since then, and there's merit in having friendships like that. But at the same
Yes.
time, maybe he would have worked as a love interest. Just saying.
He could have been on the list of, love interest. I think he would have been a good choice. But, like, I still have that, lovely attraction to morally gray characters. So, like, I too would probably choose the pirate.
Mhm.
Like, I love August. I don't know,
You
man.
don't say.
August writes.
Mhm.
I have problems. Can I have both?
I mean,
Both works.
both is good. I mean,
Both is good.
but these are fictional characters. When it comes to fictional characters, why choose?
Yeah, why choose?
Yeah.
Not an egg.
We never do get rid of eggs here. Apparently, according to, I think it was Kalinda Vasquez, I saw this from the wiki, best laid plans is an egg pun.
I literally texted you after I watched this episode too.
I
I was just
know.
like, we're never going, like, how the most random thing for to be a constant in both shows that are so drastically different, and it's fucking eggs.
Mhm. I know. And at this point, we've definitely had an episode at some point that's just like, did you know that it's always eggs or something along those
Oh yeah, it's
lines?
like pretty early along, or
Well, no, the
yeah,
very first egg one we had was, did you know that eggs are a two-body system? That was our very first egg
yes,
one. That
that
was
was the
with
first
Dreamy.
egg one.
And then but it's continued not just in Once Upon a Time. It's continued in both shows.
Like, we've had 2, 3 different egg situations in Bob's Burgers so far. Now, I will say that's in 9, like, almost, just I would say 8 seasons, because we're just now starting season 9 of Bob's. That's in 8 seasons of Bob's Burgers and
But
not even a full 4 seasons
but we've been doing this for
of
2
Once Upon a
years.
Time.
So, like, it
Yeah,
feels condensed.
that's a lot of eggs
It's a lot of
in 2
eggs in
years.
it's a lot of eggs in 2 years.
And then, the egg crisis that we have lived through has not
Yeah.
helped, because then we feel like
No.
eggs are constantly on our minds.
Maybe we created the egg crisis. We spoke it into existence too many times.
Sorry, guys. I
It's like
didn't mean to.
it's like Beetlejuice.
Eggs, eggs, eggs.
Hey, look, a
David.
chicken.
Oh,
So
fuck.
sorry.
No, but that actually works out. David, a chicken. Because what he wants to destroy the page. I was like, fuck you. Do not ruin things for Regina. Like,
Mhm.
I really don't like. I have had my issues with David and Snow. I just call her
Uh-huh.
Snow. Mary Margaret's a lot.
Yeah.
But,
All
like, with
same.
the two of them, we know they're not my favorite
Yeah.
in this show, but they just continue to piss me
Well,
off.
so much of this episode is like, that's not very Snow White of you, because truthfully, with the page, their justification is that by destroying the page, it would trap the author in the book. I'm fairly certain if they destroy the page, it would kill the author.
It would. Oh, 100%.
He wouldn't be
If they
stuck in.
burn that, he dies.
Yeah, he's not stuck in the book. He's stuck in that page. So, like, just
I
saying, like,
mean,
that's
they're
just killing somebody.
idiot 1 and 2. So,
This is true. They don't think things through.
and I pinpoint. I'm like, that's a dragon tail, not a nest. That was
That's
very
very clear.
obvious. But then I have my motive. I'm like, I'm sure a dragon egg would be fine in fire. Like,
In theory, yeah.
like, in most mythology, like, the dragon eggs can withstand that amount of fire. Like, they're
Mhm.
actually meant to stay that hot in some folklore.
Yeah.
So they can hatch. I say
Mhm.
folklore in some stories, like,
Yeah.
whatever.
I know what
But so
I
I'm
got
like,
you.
that's dumb
Mhm.
to yeah.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Maleficent could have just killed the both of them and taken the egg back, but obviously we
Yeah.
can't kill those two.
Yeah, I think in the promo for the episode, when in the episode when she throws the magic and it does the rocks, I think in the promo it was fire, but then they changed it in the episode. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
That's what I remember.
Because I'm on Maleficent's side here.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Like, no, like it was the fact too that okay, I wrote a whole thing. I'm like, you aren't heroes. You are not heroes. There is so much they could have done, but they only focused on inherent good and evil. But they were literally just told that people are born with a blank slate,
Mm-hmm.
including Maleficent's child.
Yep.
And them being like, oh my God, it's actually a baby in there. I'm like, what the fuck did you think was in there?
I don't know.
Like,
But like their justification that it's an egg, therefore there's no chance it could possibly be humanoid, given that the Maleficent's preferred form is human, is very, very flawed logic.
Extremely flawed logic. And like them finally realize, and it felt a little icky because the moment they're like, oh, it's actually a baby in there, that's when they actually felt bad. And I'm just like, so magical creatures you still don't have a moral compass for those?
Nope.
After you've seeked out a unicorn? Like,
genuinely, like, the deciding to steal someone's child, this is decidedly very not Snow White of her. Snow wrestling with her moral compass is always a case of it should be more interesting than it ends up being. Because
no, it's just infuriating.
It's infuriating because she always finds ways to justify it until the very end and then flips into despair and regret so fast. Because like this one, it's her justification is that it's a dragon, it's a monster, it's it's whatever. Like it should be more interesting to have her wrestle with those thoughts of should we be doing this? Like that's like when you have someone that has such a strong moral compass, when they act against it, there should be more internal conflict and more thinking it over. But she finds a way to justify her actions until she realizes she made the wrong choice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like that flip is so quick, and it should be more interesting. And it's like her exact line is, "Child, this isn't a child. This will become a monster just like you." That's not very Snow White of her. I'm just saying.
As she's standing in front of them in her human form, begging as a mother.
In such a soft, because and like I love the outfit they give her for that, because like
it's beautiful.
Because we so often what we see is like the very, other than maybe in Enter the Dragon where she's in the more kind of like downtrodden kind of outfit, for the most part we see her in her big, very sharp edge, sparkly horn headdress thing. Exactly. They softened her. They got rid of the headdress. They gave her like a cloak that kind of looks like the outer shell of like the dress that she tends to wear, with a very soft, like pale blue nightgown underneath.
It was very much like a postpartum outfit.
Yeah,
because obviously like laying an egg is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Who wants to lay an egg? So like that is childbirth for her. So she's already gone through, like I guess, yeah, it's different. It's a dragon egg because she laid the egg. Now it's in its incubation period, but still, like she is a mother. Like you are a mother, like at that point. And to watch someone who is also pregnant be like, no, I'm taking this. Like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
I am on Maleficent's side. I want Snow and Charming to get their due diligence so fucking bad right now because they deserve everything wrong that's coming for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Because what the fuck? And then, of course, I had the moment of shut the fuck up, Gold. You don't understand a mother's love. Like, I am so sick of the men trying to be, I guess, the voice of reason. And you're just kind of sitting there like, y'all don't understand shit. Please shut up.
He thinks he understands because of his relationship with Bae, which to an extent I get, but at the same time, it's not the same situation.
He abandoned Bae too. Like, at this point, Maleficent's probably like one of the best. Like, Maleficent and Regina are the better parents.
Yes, they are.
What the fuck, Lauren?
100% Maleficent and Regina are the best parents on this show.
And Granny. I would give Granny.
Yeah, and Granny.
Granny tried.
That's true. She did her best.
Granny did her best with the information that she had.
Yeah.
But Snow and Charming are absolute idiots.
Like,
I'm not even mad at brain fart.
Give me a reference.
Geppetto.
There you go.
I'm not even mad at Geppetto.
I am.
I almost said Giuseppe, and I'm like, that's not right.
No, that's
no, Geppetto.
Giuseppe's not correct.
No, Giuseppe's not correct. But no, I'm not even mad at Geppetto for what he did because he too wanted to save his child. I am, but like he wanted to save his child. So like I have the mother standpoint on that one. Like I wouldn't abandon a newborn though. Like
no.
He was a small child, but not so young that literally could have died immediately being stuck in the elements somewhere because they literally had no idea where they were sending their children. No fucking clue. Like, yeah, it'll be fine. You had to get me into the show.
Yeah, I did. I needed somebody else to have these strong feelings with in a like safe and healthy way. Because normally with me online, I will say this, like This is not a judgment. It's my account, so I do what I want. I'm generally the smartest person in that comment section.
That's fair.
Generally speaking. So I have you to talk to so we can have these conversations and I don't feel like I'm talking into the void of people that are intent on misunderstanding me.
And there's a lot of people that they go to that show and they watch it through just the eyes of entertainment and they're trying to entertain it and pull things apart. But not many people go into the point that we literally write everything down and do a statistical analysis of each episode. We go a little bit further, so we're able to pick out I say we, it's usually you pointing things out to me. I've had a couple of times where I'm like, did you notice? But it's usually the other way around.
What do you mean people don't do statistical analysis of the TV shows they watch? That's not normal. I didn't know this.
Look, I'm also the person that literally bought a notebook at one point because I was like, I'm going to start sitting down and really reviewing movies because I love movies and just never kept with it. So us adding the movie aspect to this really helped me out a lot.
Oh,
I was like, I get to do it, but with Lauren's thing, because thanks to Lauren, we're able to keep things a little bit more organized.
Yeah, I try.
I am not organized like that.
Lauren is. I am informationally organized. I need to. That's the key thing is my space where I live. It's it's not perfectly organized. There's a little bit of clutter. It's not messy, but it's
clutter is personality.
Stuff. Everything has a place, but I would still say my organizational skills are much more heightened when it comes to information. So when you have spreadsheets and notes and stats and plot.
Oh shit! I gotta make that spreadsheet. Sorry. I forgot. I texted you about that and completely forgot.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
I know. I already forgot. Oh my God. In my defense, I've been working all week. My feet feel like they're going to fall off.
You've been busy.
I've been busy. So you weren't kidding that Lily was coming back.
I was not kidding about Lily coming back.
I mean, now I really am mad that didn't end up like a sapphic situation, though, because that is so much more interesting than me. I love Killian. I love August. I loved Graham. But at the end of the day, notice I leave Neil out of that list. But at the end of the day, Lily, her dating Maleficent's daughter would have been so fucking cool.
Right? It would have made so much sense. But no, sadly not.
And of course, it's the peddler.
I mean, yeah, that makes the most sense. The peddler.
That was the given.
Yeah, because he's a little too suspicious the first time we see him.
He's a little too joyful. When they meet him, he's got this happy air about him. I'm like, yeah, no, that's not how this works.
No. But I guess we got some fun stuff with the peddler and the peddler being the author. We got a lot of fun stuff with him coming up.
I find it interesting that we went the route of he went rogue. The author went rogue, so the Sorcerer's Apprentice is like, nah, fuck that, bro. We're not doing that.
The more we learn about him, which is mostly most of what we're going to learn about him and his relationship to stories, it was mostly going to come through in the finale because we're going to get some of his backstory and then we'll see kind of the fruition of all that. It makes a lot of sense why they chose him, but also why he was absolutely the wrong choice.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to see more about him. I was really excited to know everything I could about the author. You know how excited I was for this. Then we get to this episode. I'm just like, all right, that's the route we're going. He doesn't seem like a very intelligent man. He's a peddler.
Yeah. I'll admit, it is a little info dumpy the way they have August just tell us everything. And I did actually write it down just so we can kind of, because it's basically,
it was very info dumpy.
You wanted information about the author? Here you go. There's something you need to know about this author. He wasn't the only one. There have been many authors throughout time. It's a job, not a person. And the one trapped in here was just the latest tasked with the great responsibility to record, to witness the greatest stories of all time and record them for posterity. The job has gone back eons. From the man who watched shadows dance across cave walls and developed an entire philosophy, to playwrights who tell tales in poetry, to a man named Walt. Many have had this sacred job, great women and men who took on this responsibility with the gravity that it deserved until this last one. It's very info dumpy, but truthfully, honestly, we wouldn't have gotten stuff like that. It trickled out. It just wouldn't have worked.
No. So that needed to be an info dump, and I appreciate that it was August to tell us.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so from that we have some hint as to past authors being Walt Disney and William Shakespeare.
Yeah. I like the William Shakespeare one.
Yeah, that one's a little more subtle than a man named Walt.
Oh, a man named Walt. They really threw that in there because
it makes sense though. For Walt Disney to be an author, it makes perfect sense.
It does. It does make sense.
I know he didn't write the movies, but still.
There's a dichotomy when you get into Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Of good and bad, but it is interesting.
Yeah.
But it's a Disney made thing. It's based off a lot of Disney stories,
Mhm.
not just fairy tales. So throwing Walt Disney in there actually, it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Like Walt Disney was not the best man. We're gonna go with that. He
No.
was not the best man whatsoever. However,
Just go down your own rabbit hole of that
yeah,
one.
we're not doing a deep dive on
We're
him.
not we're not doing that.
But just know that like most things that you see that aren't like a documentary that actually goes into his life is heavily sugar coated, but we cannot deny the legacy he left behind being what it
No.
is.
And the changes that has gone through
Yes,
year after year. Because like
absolutely.
the Disney we see right now is not the Disney we grew up on. Because they like to follow the masses.
Mm-hmm.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
We'll
So
discuss that later off
yes,
camera because that's a lot.
that's an off-camera conversation.
That's an off-camera conversation.
But we got some fun facts for this one. Not too many, but we got a couple. And mostly I just pulled in some pictures from Instagram.
Pictures.
Just from Instagram, mainly because like
you know how much I love those.
I know. Because this is my favorite fun fact, and this wasn't even from the wiki, this was just from a video that I watched. So the scene where Cruella and Ursula, so this is the last time we see Ursula, by the way. Sadly.
So last we see of her is her fainting.
Literally, yes.
That's hilarious. She just went to sleep for a little while.
Yeah, exactly. She fell in the portal. That's the last time we saw her.
Oh yeah.
But when they're filming that fainting scene, when Snow pops up with the poppy dust, Victoria is she's game for anything. Truthfully, she's ready to go. So I think it was one of the most recent France convention, someone asked like one of her favorite scenes to film, and it was that, and she's like, because I'm just I'm ready to go, so I just like basically she blows the thing in my face, and then I drop like a stone, and you have like the big like stunt people off to the side, and they're like looking terrified. They're like, I pop up like I'm fine, and then we do it like 5 more times, and then I drop like a stone. I'm fine, just popping back up again. And you have these giant stuntmen off the side, like you're gonna be covered in bruises.
Like okay, and
her response is like, I'm covered in furs, darling. I'm fine. Like, she has no
oh
problem.
my god, I love her.
But then you have like again, the Marin was like, you're such an idiot. She's like, and that was her fun day, was just falling and dropping like a stone and having like the giant burly stuntmen going like, are you okay?
Like, but at the end of the day, like if you do it right, it doesn't hurt that bad.
And to be fair, she was wearing Clarissa, so she had a lot of padding.
I was gonna say that's a lot of padding.
So I think she was fine. And also, to be fair, like she's not falling down. That one was
the
probably
ground is a little soft.
That one was probably I think that like that outer cave area. I think that was a soundstage.
Oh, okay. So it
extra
shouldn't be that
soft.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like she's out in the middle of the woods and there's stumps and rocks and
no, exactly. And I did love though. They like, no, if I thought it'd be this cold, darling, I would have killed 2 more puppies and made mittens. Because
that was a good one.
So corrupt. That's how you know this is a Jane Espenson episode.
Yeah.
Not so much Regina trauma this time around, but still the humor. Although I do appreciate, so this makes me feel better. So we have Henry's middle name in a Jane Espenson episode. That makes me happy. Henry Daniel Mills.
Where did she get Daniel from?
Daniel, the stable boy.
Oh shit, that's Daniel. Fuck me, man. So much has happened in this show. There's a lot of names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and we're on to Robin now, so I completely
that's
forgot
true.
about Daniel.
But yeah, so I love that. And to be fair, Henry Daniel Mills, that was a headcanon for most of the fandom, basically since the beginning of the show. We just all had decided collectively
Daniel.
that his middle name was Daniel because it made sense. Yeah. But to have that confirmed by Jane Espenson it's very satisfying. I will say that. So in addition to Best Laid Plans being an egg pun, Best Laid Plans also comes from a line from the poem To a Mouse by Robert Burns. It comes from a specific line, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. Which, best laid plan went awry. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. With the way that this episode is shot, it's very inconsistent about where Mary Margaret's apartment is in Storybrooke, which is not new for them. They tend to just film whatever angles they want and figure it out later. Because when Hook sees the sleeping spell approach, the pawn shop is visible through the window on the other side of the street. That's not where that is. However, after leaving the apartment, David and Mary Margaret are shown to be walking away from the white picket fence next to the post office and across Main Street in the direction of the bread store, which is like right across from Granny's. That's the other end of the street from Gold Shop, just saying. Additionally, Mr. Gold, Cruella, and Maleficent and Regina are also shown leaving the apartment from the picket fence. The fence is located on the other side of Main Street from the pawn shop, a couple blocks down from Granny's.
I'm just going to continue to laugh that Bob's Burgers has better continuity.
Well, because like
than this damn show.
Just, no one just pays attention. I don't know.
Like next to the timeline, there should be a map.
Yeah, we need a map. We need one.
We need a map where you know which way you're going. Mm-hmm. So that way you have Like, that's why a lot of writers, they get their maps done pretty
Mm-hmm.
quickly. Like, they want to get their map out, especially with fantasy, so you know where the hell you're going.
Right?
Like, it's not that hard, guys.
Mm-hmm. And this last fun fact comes with some discourse from the fandom. According to Jane Espenson, the author was only controlling the apprentice in the whole situation. When they say that he changed the story, he didn't just record it. Snow and Charming are responsible for their own actions. That's according to Jane Espenson. And that is something that the fandom has talked about in the past, about whether or not they're truly, in control of their actions, or whether he writes this bit of the story. And this is my analysis based off what we see and knowing that she, confirms it's just the apprentice. With the constant discourse of this episode, whether Snow and Charming were in complete control of their actions. The author's name is Isaac. It's just easier to you'll find his name
That's
eventually.
fine.
It's much easier for me to just say Isaac.
He looks like an Isaac.
You're right. Isaac is guiding them toward a path where he can control the outcome. However, he himself is not controlling them. Only the apprentice, who would otherwise have the wherewithal to see what Isaac is doing and deny Snow and Charming when they ask this of him. That makes it more compelling. He's only controlling the person who would otherwise tell him no.
I'm still not blaming him for what Snow and Charming did, though. Like, that is all them.
No, it's completely all them. And that's the analysis that makes the most sense, is that they are in control of their actions. He's guiding them, but they're still doing whatever they kind of like the guys of we're both authors. We both understand sometimes the characters do whatever the hell they want.
Dude, sometimes you're writing a storyline, you have a full plan. The next thing you know, you're writing other things. You're like, what did my characters just decide to do? Like, your brain shuts off and your fingers keep going.
Exactly. Sometimes it just happens.
And it ends up really interesting sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes you're
like, what did I write?
And to be fair, to his point of it makes for a better story. Sometimes when you let the characters do what they want, it does end up being a better story.
Yeah. It fixes plot holes too sometimes, because you're just like, it's like your subconscious picks up, like, that's not going to work. This is how it connects.
Yeah. And so he was just introduced, but he's going to be involved heavily. But since we didn't have that many fun facts, we'll go over the IMDb for our author. He's played by Patrick Fischler.
See him all the time.
Yeah, he's in everything. He's a California native with 142 acting credits spanning his 35-year career.
That's a lot.
And much like Marin Nunji, he's been in everything. So I wrote down just some of the high points. He's been acting in a lot of different projects. He was in.
We're not going to go through the whole list?
No, not all 142. I thought that
gotta catch them all.
No, Pokemon. Weirdly enough, he's not in Pokemon. Last I checked.
Oh, okay.
No,
that's fine.
So he was in NYPD Blue. He was in Charmed, and Before You Ask, he played a character that was just named Foreman in season 4, episode 11, Trial by Metal.
I didn't need to ask.
I'm just saying, sometimes you ask me, so before you ask.
No, I remember him from Charmed. I remember who he is.
So he was in Charmed.
You gotta remember, I've watched Charmed. Like, my Once Upon a Time is Charmed.
No, but there's been times that someone's been in Charmed and you asked me when I didn't have the answer. So I'm learning now. If someone's been in Charmed, I write it down.
Because it's the same with this. Like, the later seasons are a little more like, why did we make this?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like the last 2 seasons, you're kind of like, once you get to that point of Charmed, you're kind of like, why did we do this?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if it's something from a later season, I don't remember. But like early seasons, like season 4, I remember season 4.
Okay.
So I throw it out there. It's only owned 1 through 3.
Mm-hmm. So he's also been in Angel, ER, various CSI projects, Bones, Mad Men, Lost.
I remember him in Bones.
Grey's Anatomy, Law & Order SVU. He was in Shameless, and then again, Before You Ask, he was in 2 episodes in season 5. The character was named Wade Shelton.
Yeah, okay, I remember him.
I've now learned if it's Charmed or Shameless, I have to tell you what it is.
Not always, but
not
sometimes.
Always. Sometimes. He was in Happy, The Lincoln Lawyer, and most recently he was in 13 episodes of NCIS Origins.
Okay.
He's also a writer and a producer. He wrote and produced a movie called Her Last Will, which he also starred in back in 2016.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he was actually friends with Victoria Smurfit before they were filming. I was trying to find a specific Instagram photo that I remembered, but it might have ended up being like a story kind of thing, or it was on somebody else's page. But but to be fair, this did involve me scrolling back to 2016 or 2015. Yeah, 2015. I scrolled back 10 years of Victoria Smurfit's Instagram. That woman posts a lot. Like, it took me a while. I still didn't find the picture I want. I found other pictures, but
10 years.
10 years of her Instagram.
Did you accidentally like any of them?
No, I didn't, luckily.
Okay. There's always the fear of scrolling someone's Instagram. You're like, don't like anything. Don't double click.
No, this is the thing is I did it on my computer. It's much harder to do it by accident on your computer.
You're right. Ooh.
So let me open.
See, I now actually have the visual in my head of who he played in Shameless, and I remember that storyline now.
Wait, oh damn, I shared the wrong tab. Hang on.
See, because you're not done. You just started it randomly.
Yeah,
It's okay if you don't continue it. It's a dumpster fire that you can't look away from.
fair. All right, let's share this tab. Okay. So I found this is the picture. I found a picture of the two of them. This is from 2017. Um, oh dang it! It opened a new tab.
No, I was like, where is it?
I have to share the whole thing. I'm a genius.
I'm so
Share
proud of you.
Chrome tab. Share window. There we go. Doing things properly. There we go.
Aw.
Isn't it cute? So like it's
I love the who's the hottie.
but like they were very good friends before filming, and we'll see Isaac has a lot to do with Cruella, like beyond just like the current, like they have history, which makes it more interesting, which is why I had to make sure I didn't pull out that picture by accident. But while scrolling through her Instagram, just because like I had to scroll through 10 years of Instagram, I found this great photo of her and Marin. I just love it.
Aw.
And like scrolling through her Instagram, genuinely, like she's such a girl's girl.
I love that.
Because like every once in a while, there'd be like the happy birthday picture, a happy birthday like post of, or I said birthday properly, right?
Yeah.
I'm blacking out now. She'd post
We're
like
only 30 minutes in, man.
I know, right? I still have more notes to go through. But like there'd be she would repost like this picture, or she'd post like happy birthday to like anyone from the cast that she'd worked with in the past of other things. And it's just like, and occasionally it was just like thinking of this person. It's a picture of her and Lana from like 2017. It's just like thinking of this beauty, and like they're all such. This is what I hate when people like the sentiment that women can't work together.
Oh, I don't understand that sentiment.
I don't understand.
Women work. I mean, look at us. Women
Right?
work really well together if they vibe.
Truthfully,
Like,
I don't understand it, and it's just like she's such a girl's girl, and like I love it. And I was when I've been listening to the Golden Girls deep dive podcast recently, and like that's another case of because Jennifer Samard and Megan Hilty were both nominated for the Tony for Death Becomes Her. I mean, that's a show that like they're frenemies, they're fighting. That's the point. But that's the point is that there's love at the in on the back end of it. But with her podcast, the Golden Girls deep dive podcast, I'm hoping if I say it enough times, maybe we'll show up in their recommendations. Just maybe.
hell yeah,
that'd be nice. When at the very beginning, she was just starting rehearsals for the Chicago runs. This is before it ever came to Broadway. And every once in a while, the co-host will try and like make like a joke, and like in a well-meaning way, but like Jennifer's response is always such a girl's response. Because like he said something, they were talking about a bit from the Golden Girls where like it's one of the episodes where like Blanche is trying to steal somebody's manners, which is not
that's Blanche.
That's par for the course. But so he says, he's like, so what would happen? Like, what would happen if, like, you know, someone that you worked with, you know, their husband, like, came on to you? Like, what if Megan Hilty's husband came on to you? And her response is, it's hard for me to make that leap because if you're married to Megan Hilty, why would you ever?
Exactly.
Like, that's her response. It's like so I love seeing that with like so many of like these like performers. Like, they're just such girls.
Why ask that question?
He was trying to make a joke. Honestly,
Oh,
it was a well-meaning joke. It landed fine. But like, so he just like, okay, so what if you were working with Tina Fey's husband? And then so he just kept coming up with responses. And then ultimately he went, what if my husband came on to you? And she went, I would laugh in his face.
Okay,
that's where it ended. So it was a well-meaning joke.
Okay. Because like, you know how men can be. There's times they make a joke and you're just kind of like, do you realize what you just said?
Yeah. But still, we love to see it. We love to see the, you know, the camaraderie and like the women work together just fine.
They really do. And like it makes me think of I can't remember all the actresses that were like at the table, but it's a group of women just discussing film, and Jennifer Lawrence makes the mention of she's like, we had a female director and everything was organized so nicely and the schedule made sense. And I'm just like, yeah, women are actually really great at this. It's kind of what we do, especially if you look at the women from the aspect of being mothers, because like we're the ones organizing everything. We're the ones planning everything and keeping a household running and keeping life going for multiple people. Of course, we'd be good at planning shit. Like,
yeah, of course.
I'm sorry, look at your local PTA. What are they doing?
Exactly.
How many of those moms?
Exactly. Men don't understand.
No, they don't. And that is a societal norm. It's not like
yeah.
I'm not sitting here saying, you know, fuck men. They don't do enough. Like, no, it's a societal norm that is ingrained in our culture's mind, and that really sucks. And which is, I think, is a reason for the confusion for a lot of older men. They're like, why are millennial dads doing so much? And I'm like, because they have millennial wives.
Exactly. Who
That's
demand
why.
more of them.
Who demand more of them. So they're going to do more. So
Yep.
it's an interesting thing.
Mm-hmm. So, not to go all the way back to the beginning of the episode, but now we have my notes to go through. There's still more I haven't talked about.
That's okay.
But I love, again, just more with the Victoria Smurfit being fantastic. You know, the at last I feel like I've aged a decade waiting for you. Well, you certainly look it. Like,
and she's not even like in a ton of the episode, but she's she's a showstopper, man.
She steals every scene that she's in. She really does. Because I feel like that's like the way that she's like holding herself with like her hand up like this and hunched over, and the way she says that line. I'm like, I feel like that's a time where the director had to tell her like dial it back about like 10 notches. Because like I can see her getting a little pretty cartoony with it, but she steals every scene that she's in. Like it's just
she does.
But Mal, the outfit they had Mal in this episode with the slacks, it was.
I'm no better than a man.
I love the aesthetic of the costuming that they have for her, but I think I like the slacks better than the pencil skirt. I'll be quite honest.
I like the slacks better too.
It works so well.
Well, she has a masculine energy, which is not a bad thing. Like she's masculine energy.
She's tall,
demanding,
mm-hmm.
and strong, and I just pants pull that off more to me.
It worked so great. But I mean, but to say that, but she has slightly more masculine energy, more, I guess, demanding demeanor. With the range that she gives this character in this episode alone.
Yeah.
Kristen is, I mean, not that we didn't already know she was an amazing actor, but like she goes from that to like how broken she is at the very end. It's just, it's amazing.
That's why it's so nice watching her and Lana together. Because they match each other.
Exactly. They have very like similar trajectories and they understand each other in a way that other people just don't. And again, why Dragon Queen would make sense as a ship. Just saying.
I know. Like, I need it. Man, mm-hmm. I really am going to end up reading fan fiction before this is over. Because I still have, even though you sent me yours, I still, like,
you don't have to read
mine. Long, okay? Yes, I do. One day. It has to happen.
One day.
So I still have yet to actually ever read actual fan fiction. So I'm just kind of sitting here like, this, every time we mention a ship I really like, and I'm like, am I going to do it? Mm-hmm. And then I look at my bookshelves and I go, do I have the time?
Well, this is what I say with reading my fan fiction. And I say this with reading all fan fiction. The chances that what you're reading was written by someone under the age of 18 is never zero.
See, and that's what worries me.
Unless you know who wrote it.
I don't mind reading things from people who are of a younger age, but a lot of times as I've been informed, fan fiction has some explicit scenes. So I feel uncomfortable reading explicit scenes from someone who is under the age of 18 who wrote it.
Exactly.
It's a little disturbing for me as a 31-year-old woman.
Exactly, which is why I'm saying, like, if you're going to read anyone's fan fiction, you might as well read mine, because then you will know the chance that someone under the age of 18 wrote it is in fact zero.
But at least it's your brain and not.
Yeah. Well, because, like, I mean, with my 29 years of experience.
Exactly.
And I'll admit, my fan fiction has definitely evolved since I started writing it. And let's see, if you were to read any of the stuff, the username is never being released. Just saying. That's intentional. Not happening. Katie knows. No one else.
Oh, yeah. I know.
No. None of the fan fiction that I've ever written was ever written under the age of 18.
And I need y'all to understand, it took us going through a few seasons before Lauren was like, okay, I think we're going to give this to you. Well, like, this was not like, oh, we're starting, here's my fan fiction. It took over a year.
Well, no, it took over a year because with one of them, it would have spoiled the memory potion in 309. So you couldn't.
It's still funny, though. Like, it's not like I got this immediately.
No. I got trust issues. What can I say?
I mean, I've been your friend now See, I can never seem to remember when we actually met.
Because we think we were friends longer before we started the podcast than we actually were. I think we were really only friends for like 6 months before we started the podcast.
We really were, because we met around the holidays. I know that.
Yeah.
Because we met through mutual friends, ended up in a group chat from hell. We ended up in a group chat together.
That's a story for another day. That's a story for nobody, actually.
That's a story for nobody. That will always stay between the two of us. Yeah. But just know, everybody, we started our friendship through flirting and shit talking.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Hello, the Okay But Did You Know podcast. Flirting and shit talking.
It really is. We just took our friendship. I was like, we're going to take this further.
There's your title. Did you know this podcast started on flirting and shit talking?
It's a good one.
It's a good title.
It's really good.
When I go through again and edit, we'll see if we said anything equally as stupid.
We usually do.
Yeah.
I always have a list.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Back to the episode and back to simping after the women in this show, because we have another fantastic Cruella line of, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to ruin her scrawny neck right now. It's like, Cruella's bloodlust is so entertaining.
It is, but it works.
It works so well. She's got a lot of pent up rage, I'll be quite honest. Like, truthfully, when you learn more,
contemplating killing more puppies, I'd say so.
Yeah, I mean, when you learn more about Cruella, and you'll learn more about Cruella in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 18.
I'm okay with this.
Episode 18. You know, you'll learn
2 weeks.
You'll learn where all that bloodlust comes from. Oh yeah, 2 weeks, because next week is 17.
Okay, but a whole episode of Cruella.
It's Cruella backstory, and it is phenomenal.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
It's young Cruella, and there's a joke that Victoria made one time. She's like, "Yeah, I feel like young Cruella required more makeup than regular Cruella,"
which is funny
because they do her best to make her look much younger.
They definitely get the eyeshadow all the way up.
Yeah, it's a lot of eyeshadow. Well, to be fair, I feel like the
wig,
the
eyebrows.
I feel like the wig is half the look.
It is, but you can't have her without the jacket.
No, she needs her furs, darling. That's a requirement. But the way that she says "darling" when Ursula collapses, she's like, "Darling." She's like, what? She just has no clue. Like, what's happening here? Why are we collapsing? And then my line that entertains me, which you'll get the reference probably next season, is, "Why is it always eggs with you people?"
God damn it.
That's a reference for like somewhere like 5B.
Fuck me.
Not more eggs, just the way that I use the line.
I know, but it's just eggs.
Eggs.
So many eggs.
All the eggs.
That's why I couldn't eat eggs for a while.
Because we watched too much about eggs?
Way too much.
Mm-hmm. I did so much of this episode, though. I really enjoyed the cinematography in it and the way that they brought things in together, because we have Mal's line towards the very end, which is, if she's alive, she's out there, someone must know her. And then it cuts to a shot of Emma. They did that a couple times in this episode. Because there was that one, and then let me see if I think I wrote down the other one too. We have Emma saying, "No one gets to decide who I am." Cut to Snow and Charming. That's good cinematography.
It is. It's really good. I'm just still annoyed by the fact of like they're being told she has a blank state and still being like, "Oh, we got to make sure she's good." It's the nature versus nurture.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. I do have a rant a little bit about Emma and the way she responds to them finally telling her the truth about everything, but given our time, before I go into that, we went down a nice couple of rabbit holes. Before we get into that, Katie, what did you rate Best Laid Plans?
I gave this 9s across the board, so it is a 27.
Interesting, okay.
I did not give it a 30 because I still have, it's Snow and Charming.
No, that's fair.
Snow and Charming, 100%. Like, I love the author storyline. I'm actually really, really enjoying this more than I thought I would. And I'm not upset that he's not like an intellectual type situation, that he really is just what I'm seeing is a grifter, essentially, at this time. Sometimes
authors are assholes.
And sometimes authors are grifters. Sometimes they really are horrible people that you're just like, why are you doing this? Because, that's just the world we live in. And so I really am, and I'm enjoying the storyline. But I do, like, I cannot forgive Snow and Charming. And then with that one, though, that goes across all three because it's part of the plot.
Yep.
It's their character, and it's very personal to watch parents. I know she's the baby's not, Emma's not born yet, but at the same time, like, I've been pregnant twice. I know what it's like. Like, your mentality switches pretty much immediately from the moment you find out you're pregnant. And for me to not see that in Snow is extremely disappointing.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, there is no reason for Snow to act that way as a pregnant mother. It makes zero fucking sense in my mind, and it is, in my opinion, unforgivable. I didn't know that these two would end up my most hated characters at this point.
Right? No one would.
What's going on?
No one really expects when they start the show that they're going to go in hating Snow and Charming at any point. And this is, I love that you're talking mostly about Snow because you have to for the pregnancy aspect. However, your hatred is equally placed on both. I feel like that gets lost a lot in this fandom. Most people mostly hate Snow and forgive Charming because
he's
complacent.
Thank you. He's complacent and he's so obsessed with pleasing her.
Yeah.
That's like the only thing that ever seems to be important in his mind is pleasing Snow and keeping her happy, which, well, yes, try to keep your partner happy in your relationship. But if it comes from a place that you are harming others, you are not doing a good job. You cannot keep your partner happy by harming others. And that's not okay. I don't care if you see them as villainous. Like, yeah, there's bad people in the world. And maybe this also kind of stems from like, I'm a Southerner. I'm watching people day in and day out saying that certain things that have happened in my state, we deserve it.
Mhm.
When there's good people here,
Yeah.
and that's just not how that works. So it's very personal. It's very personal. I'm realizing. I'm
No,
like, oh, I'm
and
actually like heated right now because I'm
yeah.
just like, no, I'm not going to forgive a man for okaying that.
Yeah, I think it's most people, they put more of the blame on Snow, and this is always my response of, like, people have asked, "Well, why do you think people hate Snow more than they hate Charming?" And my response is always misogyny.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly
it
that.
is.
But
They
they're both
expect
complicit.
it's misogyny, and it's also the fact of, like, people, they always say, like, "Oh, why do you think Snow isn't as much of a strong female character?" I'm like, I think that take is inherently anti-feminist because the point of
She
feminism,
is a strong female character that makes bad decisions.
she's a strong female character who makes bad decisions. Their like justification of that commentary is because she's more centered on traditional family values. But again, feminism is the right to choose. If you want to have, if she wants to focus more on the safety and the care of her family, yeah, sure. That's not, it's anti-feminist to assume that she's not a feminist character.
Yeah.
She's just sometimes a bad person,
See, and I think
but
that's
she
where we
makes
go
bad
into
choices.
this like dichotomy of course, the entire storyline is good versus evil. That's
Yeah,
like usually fantasy. It's good versus evil. And so, but at this point, we're getting into the lines of inherent good or evil.
while also bringing in the aspect that no one is entirely good or bad.
Exactly. And I maybe people aren't pinpointing on that enough of the fact of like they want to sit there and hate Snow, but at the same time, like you can have a strong female character that is flawed. That is okay.
Yep.
Like humans are flawed. They're still fucking humans.
And thank you for coming to our thesis statement of we need to teach critical thinking skills. So
Yeah.
I never did my stats.
I'm so sorry. We went on a whole rant.
Nice little rant there.
It was needed though.
No, it was. So I gave it a 10 for plot because, quite frankly,
Mhm.
we've had like some character filler for a little while, so it's good to have, some plot back on
Yeah.
our screen of like moving everything forward with the author. It gets an 8 for character because the same reasons of Snow and Charming. This part just, it's so much of it should be more compelling than it is, and it just lands not the way that it should,
Yeah.
especially with them trying to burn the page. Like, no. But it gets a 6 for personal. This isn't one of my favorite episodes. Just in general, this tends to do lower on stats. It's just
Mhm.
it moves the author like plot forward, but it's just not. It's not as much fun as everything else that I get to see. So this actually gets a 24 for me, which is still a decent score. But
Yeah. I think I just like the like personal a little bit more just because I'm getting so much. I mean, I get dragon in this. How can I
yeah, no, this
I
is
get
true.
dragon in this?
You get dragon. But with Emma's response to them telling her the truth, finally, that she's felt like something is off this entire time, and she ignored her instincts because she was starting to trust them. Her feeling betrayed and shutting herself off from her parents is predicated on what happened in 4A.
Mhm.
I genuinely feel like if Ingrid hadn't put that little bit of distance between Emma and the Charmings, I do believe she would have forgiven them for lying to her and they would have worked it out together. But Ingrid kind of reinforced that thing of every time she lets down her walls, some other reason pops up of why she should put them back up. And with Ingrid, that was a case of she was starting to bring down her walls, and then Ingrid kind of showed her a little bit of them being afraid of her and her magic for no particular reason. So we needed that little bit of distance for her to react the way that she does. Because like
Yeah.
if we were even where she was at the end of season 3, I think she would have forgiven them a lot more easily. But this is why I say this is such a good arc, not just like for the whole season, not just because we're bringing through the author thing the entire way to fruition, but especially for Emma's character arc. You need the whole season for all of this to make sense. Because without that distance, she probably would forgive them a little more easily. But she had that more fresh recent lesson of I let my walls down and they still didn't love me, basically.
Yep.
Which is sad, but is a much more compelling arc to go over the entire season than all of season 3. So there you go.
This was an episode.
This was an episode, but it was a good one and a needed one, just not one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's really important to the storyline. It's just the character development just isn't the character development is not going in an upward spike. It's like it's you're definitely seeing what seems to be like the downfall of characters right now,
Yeah, we're
which
definitely
can be really frustrating.
yeah, it can be frustrating, and it's there's merit in having character development through hardships. Like for a lot of
Yes.
characters, I mean, for a lot of the show, I feel like they definitely try to make sure you have a balance of character development through hardships and through good times. I would say Regina disproportionately is most of her character development is through trauma.
Oh yeah.
Just saying. But I feel like this is a case where almost all of our characters are on a downward spiral right now.
Mhm.
Like, no one is really growing upward. No one is making the right choices, except for maybe Regina.
Regina's doing everything she can to protect Henry, like,
Yeah.
as always, and to get Robin back. Like,
Yes.
she is doing everything she's doing right now is out of love.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying that Snow and Charming aren't doing theirs out of love. They are to an extent, but they're still doing it out of selfishness.
Yeah. They're doing it out
Because
of
at the end of the day,
self-preservation.
I feel like they don't want Emma to know who they truly are, which obviously they had to admit to her this time, like, what they did. But, like,
Mhm.
they want to be seen as inherently good, even though they've made horrible decisions.
Yep. That's exactly it.
And that's how you hurt people.
Mhm.
Thank you all for listening. Join us next time when we discuss Bob's Burgers Season 9, Episode 3, Entrepreneurs, and Episode 4, Nightmare on Ocean Avenue Street. Don't forget to like, rate, and follow the podcast wherever you listen so you can be notified every time we publish a new episode. Follow us at OBDYK_pod on Instagram and Blue Sky. If you'd like to join our Patreon, you can find the link with more details in our show notes.
This has been an episode of Okay, But Did You Know? A TV and media podcast. It was hosted by Lauren and Katie and edited by Lauren.